Welcome to What's Right with the World with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new podcast. It's What's Right with the World. So this is the new project that I've got going, and it's all about what is going on right in the world. I mean, we are inundated with all the negativity out there in the news and everything bad that's happening and all the fear around it. You know, that's just built up. And what I'm trying to do is add energy to what's right with the world. You know, get our perspectives focused on the solutions instead of the problems. So it's like I always say, everything is energy, and whatever we put our energy to, it expands. So if we're constantly putting our energy towards the problem, then the problems are expanding. But if we start putting our energy towards the solutions, then the solutions will expand. And you know, we're constantly looking around going, you know, the world's falling apart and things are getting worse and things are horrible. But what's happening is society is rallying around each other in a way that's never happened before. You know, we are in this age of technology. We find out on the other side of the world when there's issues going on, and people actually are concerned and they actually help one another. And this is the type of thing that I want to start putting the spotlight on, because I think it's something that needs the spotlight. So one of the things that we're doing is we're going to do this podcast every week, and we're going to focus on what's right with the world. We'll throw some headlines out there, and it's, you know, tell you some news stories about actual things that are going on and how society is responding in positive ways to difficulties that transpire in our world, so we can focus on the solution and all the good things that people are doing. And also we're gonna have a news story every day that comes out on the Great Love Project. So you can see that on our Facebook page, The Great Love Project. And every day there's going to be a real-life article that you can check out. That way you can get your dose of positivity every single day by checking out those articles. And every week you get this brief podcast, because we're going to try. I can talk about anything for approximately 2 to 3 hours. So we're going to try to trim that down to 10 minutes or less. So in 10 minutes or less each week, we're going to give you just some positive news stories and an uplifting thing to think about, so we actually develop faith in humanity as we move forward. So that's our podcast. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be focusing on different subjects, and I'm also going to try to get to the core of these things too, and at least take a moment to point out why, you know, what's underneath this stuff. What is this an example of? What is this, you know, what kind of, I don't want to say spiritual law necessarily, but if we notice the positive news stories, they're all going to have underlying facts that kind of tie together, and that's what I'm going to try to point out to you guys as well. So welcome. This is the new venture that I'm doing, and so Ben.
Hey.
Ben is here with us from my Life Lessons in Laughter podcast, for those of you that listen to that one. So he's here with me helping out, of course. So what's your input on this, Ben?
Well, I'm really excited about this show. You had talked about doing the two ideas kind of came together at the same time. You had talked about doing a supplemental podcast, a weekly, you know, short podcast under 10 minutes. And then without realizing, you had also just gotten fed up with all of the negative news stories. And we were recording an episode of Life Lessons in Laughter, and you just said to me and the guest that was there, you know, we need to do something that's what's right with the world.
Yeah.
And and we kind of morphed that into
a podcast called "What's Right with the World."
A podcast, and making sure that we share positive news stories that we find. So that's this show, and that's really exciting. And we're gonna dive deep into the news stories. We're not going to cover the news stories in great detail on the show, but we're going to talk about what's behind them.
Right.
And
the general meaning behind it and how it shows what's right with the world.
Exactly. And then everything that we talk about on the show, you can find on the Great Love Project website, and Facebook page, I mean. And that really was the whole purpose of the Great Love Project as well.
Right. It's just to put energy towards things that we love, and to expand things that we love. So here, something that's the things that are good in the world. I love seeing people help one another. I love seeing the good news stories in this world. So that's what we're putting energy towards. And we're going to try to expand that and just really expose everybody, because if all you hear is the negative side of things all the time, you start thinking that that's all there is, and it's that's just natural. That's how it is. I mean, you just if you hear negativity all the time, you're going to start thinking everything is negative. So what we want to do is start bringing in the positivity and start bringing that hope back. That's where change starts, is with a glimmer of hope. So when we start seeing that people are doing good things and there are good things happening in the world and there is good social change that is taking place in our world, when we see that, it gives us the hope and the energy and the strength to move forward with more positive social change. So I want to take the focus off the problem, put it on the solution, so we can expand that solution and really start bringing a lot of love and happiness into this world and change things for the better.
Absolutely. And we don't want to do this alone. So if you have positive news stories that you find, use the hashtag What's Right with the World. Share them with us. Share them with your friends. Post stuff on the Great Love Project. And as always with the Great Love Project, share what you love too, and use the hashtag the Great Love Project. So that's
it. So help us. Please participate in expanding. Share the articles, share this podcast. Do whatever you can. Do your part to start getting the positivity out there so it can expand and we can start focusing on the good instead of the bad in this world. So thank you for listening, and thank you for being a part of this, and we'll talk at you soon.
Glenn is available for life coaching sessions, in person or via phone and Skype. To book an appointment or for more information, go to glennambrose.com, follow him on Facebook and Twitter, or click the link in the description of this episode.